Respected dignitaries, respected experts from various fields related to adventure programs, and dear friends. Uh, Thanks for hearing us out. Thanks to TCGL for having us here. What a wonderful opportunity. And this is the second time I'm interacting with the state government, and it's been quite amazing. The Gujarat state government. Really, really encouraging to be involved in the fantastic journey that you have set forth. Um, what I will do is paint the canvas for the panel discussion, make an effort, and I invite the panelists who have been already introduced to add anything when your turn comes to speak in terms of painting the canvas or setting the context. Uh, but I'm really glad about one thing, the PPP that was spoken about. We actually see a representation of that here. So we have the trade association representative, we have the government officials obviously, we have ATOs being represented, and that too across activities, and we have professionals also. So for instance, I'm a single person professional in the field of outdoors. Uh, this is fantastic, and I'll tell you why I'm saying that. So the kind of developments that are happening in India, something very similar happened in a few countries, including the Western world. And so there is a bit of data now that has emerged, which has been researched. So the question is, why have regulation? And what does it mean, or what benefits are there if there is regulation? So the little bit of research that I mentioned clearly points at three things that worked, and this is a repetition of two speakers who referred to that. One is government regulation, second is self-regulation, and the third is third-party regulation. Now the third party could come in the form of audit, oversight, maybe there are other formats. Now I'm sorry, the interesting thing is self-regulation has proven to be the least effective. We need regulation to come in. And why do we need it? In a field like adventure programs which are being organized for novices, we undertake risks, and we are looking at two aspects. One, the positive benefits of risk. There is a certain something out there amongst natural environment, amongst socio-cultural environments, that wants people to, that makes people to go and take those risks. So there are benefits. So we need to maximize those benefits. Benefits, commercial, obviously, we are tourism ministry platform. So commercial benefits, joy, thrill, satisfaction. We are also looking at learning. And we are looking at benefits to the local communities, benefits to the natural environment, if we can actually positively impact. While doing this, the second aspect of risk, while doing this, we need to minimize risk to an acceptable level. And that is the crux. What is acceptable level? Which is why we need coming together. Because that acceptable level has to be uniformly understood even by the society. Otherwise, we have experienced National Green Tribunal and a couple of court cases where the society was almost forced to bring to the government's notice that, hey, self-regulation is not doing its adequate job. So, so the whole idea is, how do we create a safety ecosystem, an adventure tourism ecosystem, which is very robust, which is flexible, which will learn through experience, which will adapt and contribute tremendously to growth while minimizing risk. So this is the kind of context that we have when we invite speakers with their perspectives. So the thing is, we have certain limited time. So panelists, I need your permission. With the help of Samiha, what we are going to do is kind of time each contribution and give a kind of alert bell. Will that be okay? And I can be then really assertive, saying, hey, your time is up. Is that okay? Yeah. Yeah. So adventure tourism, it's a fairly informal world. I know half of them since before, so please bear with my informality. Mm, So we have a representation from policy level in this gathering, right down to grassroots, on the field, nuts and bolts kind of experience. I just want to start off. So sorry, I'm kind of taking the mic back. I want to start off with one quick thing. The draft law was introduced by Mr. Suman Billa, and now it's up to the state. So I just want to offer as information that in the state of Maharashtra, I was a founder director of a Section 8 company that we formed, and it took a protracted 8 years dialogue with the state government, a fantastic partnership where the GR, along with the guidelines that was finally issued, we could influence and keep most stakeholders really happy and satisfied with the outcome. So policy level down to uh, we have looked at why are we doing this. So the potential of Gujarat has been really showcased. So Captain Swadesh Kumar, if I may please invite you, we have looked at the potential. So the whole idea is now what's the next step for Gujarat to start doing in terms of bringing those people in?
I hope great. Well, good morning. Yes, 2 minutes to good afternoon, so I can say good morning to all of you. You know, let me answer a few questions of the gentleman who said something about fishing. Then I'll tell you what I want to speak. I need half a minute more than what you are giving.
She is the timekeeper.
You know what happening is, sir? What happening is, sir? You mentioned about three adventure sports, water sports, land-based, and air-based. I think if you have to succeed without spending any money, land-based is the best. You must focus on land-based. Why? The reason is, from here, this place itself, about 160 kilometers of beautiful areas of Aravali and Baranpur or some stuff like this. And I did some research and found 4 beautiful items can be planned in the land-based from sitting from the Ahmedabad itself to drive over 150 kilometers and do it. Why not promote that? Why not promote that? Then thinking of water sports and aero sports and things like this, which is tough. Reason being, I'm basically thinking of inbound tourism. Sorry, sir. For example, if somebody from US comes here, he's not going to come for rafting. Sorry to say this, or aero sports or ballooning. It will be good for the domestic tourism. But if you're international tourism, you need to bring land-based tourism. This one thing is very important. So I'll elaborate. I have the presentation. I'll short forward it to you. Second point you have is about age. I'm looking at the presentation. Please understand, sir, people of my age, which is I'm pretty young, and you think in terms of making programs for younger people like my age, 50 plus, 60 plus. Please understand, there's nothing available for youngsters 60 plus or 70 plus people, and it's not difficult. What I want to go, my friends from my age, they want to go to a particular homestay somewhere, sit there, have a bubbly, have a nice sleep for a night, have a glass of beer in the morning, get up, have breakfast, hike, and come back and do the same thing again. Please think of those lines. You will attract a huge, large people who are doing hiking and trekking. So this is the land-based. None of these 60 plus will go on. Even I'm not allowed to sit in an aircraft anymore to do it. Buggy jumping is not allowed anymore. So third thing we just mentioned here in the presentation was guidelines. Guidelines were made during my time as the A2R president. Sorry. Guidelines were made during my time as president. We want to make a rules and regulation. But Mr. Bill at that time, they said, no, you can't make rules. You can't tell Gujarat government or any state government how to run a business because it's subject. So we use the word rules, cut the rules and regulation, make the guidelines work. And we sent these guidelines to all the state governments, all the different points came in, and they were made by us experts in the different fields, and they wrote a nice things. And it's a dynamic, it's nothing static. So it has to be keeping changing. So you have a look of it, now the new regulation coming in, but think of those guidelines is essential, most essential, but also please say that if these guidelines are implemented, what's happening is, sorry to say, I'm telling you in one state in India, the tourist director, deputy director, tourist officer is responsible for giving a license for rafting or for parasailing, paragliding. He has no clue what he's talking about it. Sir, if you want to give a license to her, please, if your police officer cannot do anything about this subject, please ask EQI, our association, to put an expert on this, to put in the panel. Giving her license or not giving her license can be responsibility of the experts itself. So do use experts for giving license to us. So this is my suggestion. Coming to you do all the beautiful things in the world, lovely things in the world, you do it. But if you don't market, it's no good at all. So I am going to speak today. I'm a marketing person. So I believe marketing is the most crucial thing for you to think. And I've made some points. Depending on the time, I don't have too much time, but I still quickly go through the marketing.
Yeah, you got to be quick about this, and you could submit then the papers that you have. Yeah, sorry.
10 seconds on mine now.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry, I'm very, very clear. Sir,
Makes it so difficult in India, you know.
what I suggest is, sir, build a global brand identity. And here, you just get the side, sir. You heard it over here. Please understand, adventure tourism. No. Please write the word Adventure Gujarat. Use the word Adventure Gujarat as a brand for future reference. And then launch Adventure Gujarat as the important thing. I think based on global branding, identity is very important. I don't want to go to explain to it, but brand Gujarat, it will be very simple. The Adventure Gujarat will be the brand for you. Then you can do many branding experts can explain to you. Digital domination is another point I want to explain to you. Very strange thing I want to share with you. I am in the business for almost 46 years. I have never received any message from Gujarat Tourism, come to Gujarat. Sorry, not only from you. None of the state governments ever say this. Sir, may I humbly request you, it will take not more than 10 minutes to press a button, and all information of Gujarat will come to all the 10,000 adventure tour operators. Adventure tour operators in the country, adventure or non-adventure. Sir, may I humbly tell your digital fellow to take a list. If you want to buy a list, take a list from it. It doesn't cost any money. Your letter, one letter to IATO, AGOI, different associations can give you information. Another problem is that you must make a strategic global partnership with people. And quickly, I want to tell you one thing more. Take advantage of us as a tour operator, your arms. Don't ignore us, because we are actually promoting the destination across the world. So if you ignore us, it's no good. With our vast experience of so many years of different places, we can assist you in planning your things. And finally, I want to say this, that adventure tourism is not a cut and paste business. It's not a cut and paste. She can't go to my website, cut and put in her website. No, it's not possible. You need to do very simply a actual activity exercise. And fan tours are very important for the domestic tour within the country itself. Invite us. Don't invite Sudesh Kumar, because I actually don't go it. But invite somebody, youngster in my company. I have 20-member company. Tell me you give me manager level, 3 people or 1 person. So please give a fan to different people so that they have actual knowledge on this. And finally, I would say, sir, very important, share itineraries you prepare. For example, when I got a message from you for a speaker, I went to website and found 4 beautiful itineraries, X for North Gujarat. Similarly, you can have huge itineraries. Actually, you fit me. Now, please understand, come to Gujarat is no meaning. Sorry to say this. Come to Gujarat, come to Ahmedabad, go to North Gujarat, and the 4 suggested programs are there. Sir, believe me, you will have wonders of business.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I just want to offer one information. So in Maharashtra, we have a very robust GR and the guidelines. There is a huge gap from that to implementation. Huge. So that's a block that can be anticipated, and probably some things that he said would help us implement things. Yeah. Yeah, all things. Yeah. So next, Mr. Deepak Raj. Um, uh, Yeah. So in the world of adventure tourism activities, they have been mentioned through the slideshows. How does an event like High Rocks or the Ironman fit in, and how can it actually contribute to the growth of adventure tourism in Gujarat?
Good afternoon, and thanks for the opportunity for inviting us over here. Um, at our end, we believe in sports tourism. So the word adventure is, our goals are adventurous when people sign up for our events. So just to explain to you, we organize marathons, Ironman, and High Rocks. I don't know, quick show of hands. How many of you have heard about Ironman? Okay, that's great. 12 years ago when I started my company, I had to explain people, so that it's taken a while. How many of you have heard about High Rocks? Yeah, so it's a new one. Yeah, yeah, it's a new one. It's just 4 months old. We are 5 years old in India from Ironman perspective. We're just 4 months old from a High Rocks perspective. We do marathons. So the different thing what we bring to the table is we put a city or a region on the global map. So when we organize Ironman Goa, which has been happening for the last 5 years, in terms of tourism and economic impact, we do a report every year just for the race weekend. We are not an all year long thing. We come in, we stay for a week. And in that week, it's about 48.2 crores was what the economic impact we had in Goa. The recent High Rocks event, 50 countries, 3,000 people, 3,000 spectators, and in most of our events, we're talking about 15,000, 20,000 hotel rooms and a lot of impact on that part. So what we do is all of these 55 country people will then go back and speak about that region. And they don't just come in the morning like we were talking, I think there was mention about Tirumala. You go in the morning, do a visit to the temple and leave in the night. People don't come in the morning, race and then leave in the evening. They come with family, they come with a support crew, they stay for 5 days, maybe even 10 days, and they make sure they visit the region because it's a major commitment of training. I mean, the sport as an Ironman is swimming, cycling, and running. You swim 3.8 kilometers, you cycle 180 kilometers, and you run 42.2 kilometers. That's the full format of the Ironman. And there are different shorter versions of that, right? So it's a lifestyle thing. So people do it as a bucket list, and India is on the bucket list for people who travel from overseas, right? And what we are doing here is giving them a reason to say India was always on their list. If I put a High Rocks event or an Ironman event, they say, I've always wanted to go to India and I always want to race. They've been racing all over the world. They're going to pick this. And if I tell you cities like Kalmar in Sweden, okay, Busselton in Western Australia, Taupo in New Zealand, if you're doing Ironman events, you will know those cities. Or if you've visited them as a tourist, you'll know that. But they have become a huge tourist hub because of these events. So we are not going to be a tour operator all year long bringing people. We do an event once a year, more than happy to do multiple times in a year with the right infrastructure. And then we bring overseas people here who will then become spokesperson and ambassadors of talking about this region. And they will come and stay for for 50 meters. Then 1 kilometer running again, and then you have to do burpees for 80 meters. 1 kilometer running, and then a sandbag over your shoulder, lunges for 100 meters, right? So that's High Rocks. We need a very large convention center, and it's an indoor part. But like the inauguration ceremony yesterday, which happened, we could even set up something like this. So the goal is I'll come back to you very specifically. We want to create a High Rocks event in a very iconic location. Like when we did High Rocks Delhi, if most people who came from overseas took time to visit Taj Mahal and then also did the race. Now we want to say, man, why can't we do a High Rocks not in front of Taj Mahal, but as close to it as we can, right? So that's what we can do, and that's the part which I would like to speak to you, at a convenient time, of taking the events to an iconic location. In case of Ironman, the Ironman team has visited. I've done a site visit. Dharoi, as an example, could be the swim, the cycling course, and the run course. So that's the goal. Statue of Unity is good. Obviously, the waters are a little crocodile infested, so hard to put people in the thing. But High Rocks, so that's the goal. So to take these things to iconic locations, and it's good for the brand, where the region then gets, I mean, if 1 million people are following High Rock, a city or a region or a state, and that's intangible. I cannot come and tell you how many people came back to Gujarat because of my race, but we know it's been happening overseas.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Um, so, Ishita, you have experience of working with local communities. So when we speak of events like this, and uh, you know, adventure brings people very close to local. Uh, how can adventure travel become a force which can positively impact not only
Right. Thank you, Shantanu. It's really an honor to be here and to be amongst people who are passionate about adventure. And yeah, so I'm here, my 40, and I've been working for the past 2 decades on looking at how adventure travel can be linked with a purpose. And how can it become a force for good? How can it become actually help in the development, the sustainable development, and hence directly aligned to the SDGs. So I mean, what we started in the Himalayas in Spiti is what we're doing out there is contextual there, but it's also contextual to any destination. And Gujarat has a lot of places which can be, as you've explained, developed along these lines. And when you combine adventure travel with local communities or with culture and add that purpose to it, you can get, for instance, in Spiti, what we have done over the years is that, we've had, created community-based homestays. So they're not just creating livelihoods, which is what is the objective for a lot of the travel companies or a lot of the initiatives that are happening on the ground. But how can a purpose be added to that? So we have, for instance, like treks which are aligned to climate action. So where people trek through Spiti or they get involved in experiences and activities there, but also help build an artificial glacier, which then helps to impact the local community in a positive way. It also helps, create access to water. People cycling through Spiti get involved in helping to build a greenhouse and create food security in the area, and help raise anemia is a big challenge because of lack of vegetables. So these greenhouses then, so basically adding purpose to your adventure activity takes adventure travel beyond just the experience, but also creating a connect with the area, as well as also going from, creating care, creating compassion in the region, and also helping in the overall development. So we have volunteers and we have travelers coming in that help with, dental camps, or so looking at addressing healthcare issues in the area. And it's a win-win for everybody, because the traveler goes back with kind of a connect with that place. He's going to come back with his entire family. And say, hey, I did this. It becomes a relationship, and it creates a great experience for everyone. So yes, as well.